In a world where time is relentless and idols often become memories before the sun has even set on their careers, LeBron James continues to defy the inevitable as if the gravity of the ages had given up trying to stop him. At 41 years old, he not only still steps onto the court with the elegance of a maestro, but also commands respect with the ferocity of someone who has never accepted simply participating in the game. For LeBron, the word end still has no translation or echo. What beats in his chest is the urgency of eternity, the visceral desire to imprint his name indisputably on the cornerstone of basketball history, after a season in which he surpassed 65 appearances, a number that many would already consider inhuman for someone with his time on the road. He still finds the motivation to reinvent himself. His numbers continue to sound like symphonies. Assist after assist, points at crucial moments, a defense that seems to have been molded in a laboratory. But more than the stats, what stands out is his presence. That magnetic aura that transforms a demotivated locker room into an emotional fortress. And now, in the playoffs, when the board is being redefined and every move weighs a ton, LeBron reveals his true essence. He no longer plays to prove anything to anyone. He plays because he knows he still has chapters to write, and that he may be facing his last great sports novel. The Lakers roster, at this moment, revolves around him like planets around a rising star. Luka Doncic, with his unique creativity and cerebral reading of the game, has established himself as the natural successor, but still looks to LeBron as the guide who illuminates the darkest paths. Austin Reeves, increasingly fearless, is the link between the boldness of youth and the discipline inherited from living with legends. Chemistry, once an abstract concept, now pulses in the team's blood. Game 1 was an unexpected fall, a stumble, that set off alarm bells, but also reignited the flame of urgency. Minnesota came out with intensity, physicality, hunger, and won. But that's where the narrative that time loves to repeat comes in. Never underestimate an injured LeBron James. He doesn't just speak with his mouth, he speaks with his actions, with his eyes, with the way he approaches each practice after the defeat. The message was clear. If the first game served as a slap in the face, the second will be the punch in return. In the locker room after Game 1, the silence cut through the air like a razor. No shouts, no complaints, just glances that met like blades, racing thoughts, and a collective feeling that seemed to inject poison and motivation at the same time. Frustration. And it was in this fertile ground for visceral reactions that the most explosive element of the night emerged. Anthony Edwards, without restraint or filter, made headlines not only for his performance, but for a provocation that resonated like an insult in every corner of the Crypto.com arena. "This crowd doesn't scare anyone," he said. A short phrase, but one that stirred the pride of a city, of a legacy, and especially of the man who has worn this jersey as a symbol of respect for decades, LeBron James. The phrase reached him with the force of a punch in the ribs. No verbal response was necessary. LeBron looked at his teammates and, with a subtle gesture, almost imperceptible, took responsibility. "Leave it to me." Behind the scenes at the Lakers, routine became a laboratory of obsession. Intensified. Training. Tactical analyses revised to exhaustion. There is no room for ego, only for purpose. Darvin Ham, pressured but composed, knows that his decisions are no longer just strategic, they are surgical. The rotation must be perfect. The game plan relentless, and the message to the group is clear. Game 2 is not just a chance to tie the series. It is an opportunity to restore identity. Edwards, talented, impetuous, has become the target of others' motivation. The stands he once disdained are promising to display the fury of an offended Coliseum. And if there is one thing the history of sports has taught us, it is that provoking a passionate crowd is the same as poking a hornet's nest. Sooner or later, the response will come. And with LeBron leading the way, that response is bound to be brutal. Right now, every Lakers player seems to have remembered why they wear that jersey. It's not just for titles. It's not just for legacy. It's for pride. It's for history. It's for Kobe, for Magic, for Kareem. And it's for all those who still believe. Game 2 will be more than a tactical duel. It will be an emotional manifesto. And Anthony Edwards, by saying that phrase, may have awakened the worst enemy one can face in the playoffs. An experienced, talented, and now deeply angry team. And if you want to follow all of this with the intensity that this series promises, you can't miss it. Subscribe to the channel now, turn on notifications, and get ready for coverage that doesn't shy away from confrontation. But before you leave, answer in the comments. What would you say to Anthony Edwards if you had the chance to face him after this provocation? This is our home, and here, the ones who speak the loudest are the stands. Let's go, Laker Nation.